Hi everyone, and welcome to my walkthrough of the Busqueda machine. So this is actually a very easy machine, and I'm going to take you through what I did and how I finally solved this machine. So I went ahead and did the nmap scan, and I added the machine to the hosts, so we can skip that time. And as we can see, there's only two open ports on this machine, the regular SSH and HTTP port. So I'm going to start a file scan and a virtual host scan while we browse the actual machine. While these run, we're gonna check the actual machine. So as we can see, there's a search here. So the first thing that would come to your mind, the first instinct, is to check for test what this actually search does. So we can see that it's a query. So let's catch this. And you probably would think of trying local file inclusion or something, and that's what I actually did. But it wouldn't work because that's not what this machine is about. So you'd actually see the version is seen on the main page of the machine. So if you search for that, and you can see there's an actual CVE. Let's check out what it's actually about, and let's check the command. So we can see that it's actually an eval function from Python, and you can just inject your command in this. You could either use one of the POCs included. Let's check one of them. While it loads, let's just type in the command. Or you can actually just use just input the instruction you want directly into the search. So what this base64 actually is, it just the VHOS search concluded. We can see there's a get but we'll come back to it later. I'll just explain the base64 part. So first of all, it's just a basic reverse shell. We're gonna take it. Shell bash-c, and put in you just put in your IP and the port you want the connection on, and you'll just run the base64 command. And you'll actually get the base64 command you want. So let's run. So let's just start the listener, and let's run this command. And as we can see, we actually got a shell, and we could move to home, and we can see that we got the user. It's and we can actually read it easily. So let's move on to the get part now, and let's make sure there is actually a get, and we can see there is a get web page. So probably the privilege escalation part goes through this. So let's move back to the web page. HTML ls c/lsa, and let's go to the app. Let's check this get configurations. Maybe you can find, you could easily think you could probably find some either hash passwords or a plain text password. So yeah, and let's add the config file, and you can see there is a get t password for this user called Cody. So let's log in as Cody. And we actually logged in, but what most users might not think about on the first instance is to check if this actually password is reused. So let's check the users in home, oh man, that's a mistake. I made a mistake. Let's rerun it, and we got the shell again, and let's go to home and list all the users. So we can actually see there's no user called Cody here, but we could actually check again that this user may be this password may be reused as SVC. So let's get out SSH as SVC at searcher.htp, and we could find that this password is actually used. So now we logged on and as Cody in the get t, and we have an SSH as SVC. So let's check if there is some this user could run anything as sudo, and he can run this command. So let's check out what this command is, and we can list the Docker machines and we can inspect the Docker machines. So let's first of all list the Docker machines. And we can see there's the get t Docker machine, so we could use Docker inspect on it. So there's actually a specific format to use the Docker inspect. And we here get the configuration for the Docker machine for get t, and as we can see there's an exposed password. So what we want to see is if this password is actually reused. You may try to log in as root using SSH, but you'll finally come back to this administrator. So you log in as administrator and use the password you found, and you actually find that the password is again reused in multiple parts. So if you went back to the scripts, you can see the system checkup script, and you can see it actually uses a relative path. So this would be our path to privilege escalation. You just go to a repository, you go to the directory that you can write into and put in a reverse shell, and you'd get the root. So let's go to temp cd temp nano. What's its name? I forgot it. Control C, Control V, .sh, and dash one in the shell, Control-C. And run the command again, but this time do a fault checkup. And let's start the lesson. The lesson is already started. Yeah, you need to make it an executable. And let's run it again. And we can actually see that we got the root shell. And let's move to the home page, and there we go. You can see we found the root.txt. So this is actually my walkthrough of this machine. It's quite an easy machine, and thank you for watching this video.